Hi, welcome back. This is the Standard's Tech and Science Daily podcast, and I'm Rachel Abbott. If you're new here, make sure to give us a follow. Coming up, 1 in 20 single women are choosing IVF treatment, according to a new study. But first, consumer group Which is suggesting up to 9 out of 10 Black Friday deals in 2023 could be cheaper or the same price at any other time of year.
Now, in this investigation, we have looked at the 6 months before and the 6 months after Black Friday last year. And what we found is the vast majority of products, so 92% of the products being sold during the Black Friday fortnight, so that time in November, were either cheaper or the same price in the 6 months before or the 6 months after Black Friday itself. So some pretty shocking figures.
That's Rob Lilley-Jones, consumer expert from Which.
We actually looked at over 200 products from some of the biggest retailers on the market, so some big tech and home brands. So they include the likes of John Lewis and Currys as well. I mean, at John Lewis, one of the examples we found was a Garmin Venu 2S smartwatch. Now, that was priced at £294. Now, the claim there was that that was a saving of £90, but we found that at no point in the previous 12 months had it actually been on sale for that higher price. So where they'd got that £90 discount saving from, we're not sure. I mean, the same thing could be said for Currys. They were selling a 43-inch smart 4K TV with Amazon Alexa for £249 on Black Friday last year. They said that was reduced from £429, so £229 reduction. But actually, just 15 days after Black Friday, it was reduced even further.
Rob also gave shoppers some tips for the upcoming 2024 Black Friday and for any deal shopping in the week ahead.
So we should say it is possible to get some deals, although you have to look really hard and you have to put some work in. So do check that deal price. You can use some price comparison websites like Price Runner or Price Spy to see how much a product has been sold for previously. So then you can work out whether the sale price is actually good value. Just take a step back as well. Think, do I actually need to buy this today? Because, as our investigation found, you might be able to find it for the same price or cheaper at a different time of the year. And also, make sure that you take advantage of price promises. So some retailers, like Richard Sounds and John Lewis as well, they'll match a price that you found elsewhere. So you can buy from a reputable retailer using a good warranty, but paying the lower price. So remember to double check whether or not the retailer you're buying from will do that price promise as well.
John Lewis said in a statement that customers can find brilliant offers year-round. The company added that the recent return of its reimagined, never knowingly undersold pledge matches prices with 25 leading retailers and gives customers absolute confidence that they are getting fantastic value. Currys said it shares Which's concern about poor Black Friday deals and welcomed their efforts to hold the industry to higher standards, adding none of its 3,000 plus Black Friday deals will have been cheaper at any point in the last 6 months. You can hear the full interview on Tuesday's episode of the Standard podcast with Mark Blunden from 4 p.m. Next, the UK's independent regulator of fertility and research, the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority, says that between 2012 and 2022, the number of single women having IVF or donor insemination treatment tripled. That's from 1,400 single women to 4,800. Egg freezing is a way for women to keep their fertility options open for later in life, and according to the HFEA, is one of the fastest growing treatments. They say that between 2018 and 2022, those storing eggs were mostly single women, with 89% of egg storage cycles among this group, and that single women were an average of 36 when they started IVF, with couples starting treatment at a slightly younger age. Now, you may remember when we reported on the Earth's mini-moon visitor, or the space rock, which has been floating around our home planet since September, is moving away, overcome by the stronger pull of the sun's gravity. Moving in a horseshoe-shaped path around Earth, the mini-moon, according to NASA, never entered our orbit. Named 2024 PT5, scientists believe it could be a boulder that was blasted off the actual moon. Despite leaving us, the rock is calculated to return in around 30 years. Astrophysicist brothers Raul and Carlos de la Fuente Marcos from Complutense University of Madrid, who first identified its behaviour, reckon on its return will be moving more than double the speed. Let's go to the ads. Coming up in part 2, a new ultrasound technique can produce previously unattainable images of inside live cells without damaging them. We speak to the lead author. See you back here in just a minute. Welcome back. A new ultrasound technique will allow experts to look more closely inside live cells. The added bonus? Well, this route is believed to also not cause cell damage. Plus, they can even reach resolutions that were not possible before.
So normal optical systems can see like the maximum pixel size is like 1 or 2 microns without adding all the dyings and the other things harming the cells. But with our technique, each single pixel can down to like 100 nanometers. It's clear, sharper.
Dr. Mengting Yao there from the University of Nottingham and lead author of the study.
Many type of cells. So one recent study, we look at lots of cancer cells. So one is the famous HeLa cells. And we also look at some cancer breast cells. One of the interesting ones is stem cells. So, like they can differentiate to like fat cells. So we had a interesting picture, like with one stem cells differentiating into adipose cells. You can see the fat bubbles inside cells in the developing cycle, so it's quite interesting. Like the heart cells, so the heart cells, they are very strong, they have strong muscles. So we can see these like small blocks inside of the heart cells.
The Faculty of Engineering's Optic and Photonics Research Group's technique uses sound waves travelling through materials to create detailed images.
We're using lights to generate these sounds. So we're using 2 ultra-fast lasers. One is to generate sounds, so the sounds can travel through the specimen. And then we use another lights to detect that sound. And all this process is like ultra-fast in like nanoseconds. So we use a bunch of complex signal processing and signal detecting techniques. We can recover the traveling of the sound. And then we analyze that sound trace. We can extract the useful properties or characteristics of the specimen we want.
Dr. Yao told Tech and Science Daily that this breakthrough will also allow biologists to monitor cell cycle, cancer cell progression, and the intracellular effects of various drugs in real time. Next, calling all PlayStations, a London Underground tube carriage has been given a gaming makeover. The Victoria Line carriage seats are marked with recognisable PlayStation branding, such as start, finish, and controller action buttons. This is part of a collab between TfL and Sony Interactive Entertainment and will be visible until the 7th of January and marks the first time in more than 25 years that TfL has worked with a brand to design and install a branded moquette on the Underground. And finally, Shrewsbury Police is investigating how an inscribed tombstone marking the fictional grave of Ebenezer Scrooge was destroyed. The tombstone had become a very popular tourist attraction and has been in place for 40 years. Town Clerk Helen Ball said the town is discussing what should be done to fix or replace the stone. The prop from A Christmas Carol is regularly visited during the festive period alongside other locations used in the film. Speaking to AP, Ball says, currently, there's not much to see other than broken bits of the gravestone. I mean, we have to say it, don't we? Bar humbug. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Standard podcast with Mark Blunden. Tech and Science Daily will return tomorrow. And for all the latest news, head to standard.co.uk.